Well, more is unfolding about the sheriff who is heading the department where Sandra Bland died this week after her arrest. Sheriff Glen Smith was punished for past racism. In 2007, he was the chief of police in Hempstead, Texas. He was given 2 weeks without pay, ordered into anger management classes. He was ultimately fired a year later. Well, Waller County City Council leader Herschel Smith called the sheriff's past censorship a slap on the hands, saying they got off way too lightly considering his humiliation and treatment of young African-American males. Now, Jose, this is really important because the sheriff in question, in this specific county, he has a past history of this. He was fired for it, fined for it. It's remarkable that he was able to switch counties and continue serving. Yeah,
I mean, Elliot and I, we were talking about this yesterday when we broke. The reality that we point out that this is systemic. There is a reason this keep happening over and over and over. Not only this sheriff has a background of racism, also the county jail where this death happened also had a very similar case with
another suicide.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is too common within this jail that this man is running. I know you discussed it on the lip yesterday, Sandra Bland's case, going on a road trip from Chicago to Texas for a job interview, one traffic stop, and now she's died. I know you discussed the ins and outs of that case, but it screams racism and foul play. And here we have another link in this chain where this sheriff was accused of racism. We actually have a quote from Houston Chronicle writer Helen Erickson. She wrote this about the sheriff. The predominantly black Hempstead City Council voted to suspend Smith for 2 weeks without pay after viewing videotapes and hearing allegations of racism from local residents against him, along with 4 other officers. So, documented history here with this man. This isn't a presumption. It's written down and we have it in writing.
Yeah, there's evidence. The problem is that we don't do anything about it.
Right.
Nobody is looking at these files and saying, you know what, you have a stain in your record, you're not eligible to lead a police department, especially in areas where there's this racial divide, there's this racial contrast. So you
have black city council members, but white law enforcement. That doesn't seem to match up too well.
In many occasions, these officers, they compensate their personal views for what is policy. So if they feel like the city is too black, if you will, they'll behave in a way and they'll direct the police departments in a way where they think that they're doing the right thing. Racial profiling is wrong. We have to stop it. And like the city council member said, this is a slap in the wrist, and this is the reason it keeps happening.
They could have stopped him before had they appropriately censored him. That's the bottom line here.
And we keep missing these opportunities to rectify things, and they blow out of proportion, and then we have people dying.
Well, I know it's really hard for people to constantly hear about police brutality, and you just really want to shut it off because there's so much of it coming out in the news. But in order for this to change, people really need to tune in to the specifics of these cases. I know they're hard to hear, and really, pay attention. It's the only way to really get things going and discuss and start that dialogue about these issues. We'd love to know what you think about this story at home, about Sheriff Smith, his past documented history of racism. Log on, post your comments about this story. While you're at it, be sure to check out the rest of our channel and, of course, subscribe to the Lip TV 2 for more.